Hey guys, Tyler's Awesome 2 here, and today I'm pitching the second season of Pixar Spider-Man. Now, the first season, I usually did one episode at a time, with an exception, of course, but this time I'm doing an entire season. Okay, here we go. Season 2, everybody. The symbiote saga begins. That's right. This season is about the symbiotes and Venom. First episode of a new season can introduce us and establish to us Eddie Brock, get to know his character a bit, and then we get to the part where the symbiote comes to Earth. Unlike in the 90s cartoon Spectacular Spider-Man, it was brought to Earth via John Jameson. And like the former, someone hires a super crook to steal something from John and the shuttle. That person stealing symbiote is Ox. And yeah, I'm substituting Rhino for this character for the show because, well, Rhino might be in a future movie and, well, as I use Ox, more specifically, being influenced from Spectacular Spider-Man with his, power-up suit and all. And basically give you an idea what I do with Rhino in the show. Now, I'm not going to outright state who he's working for, but I think you can guess who he's working for. Unfortunately, Spider-Man was unable to beat Ox, but was able to put something new, like all the Spider Tracer on him. I think those are new, I'm not sure if I mentioned it before. Probably X is, well, safe, but John is in a coma, and Spider-Man is blamed for the attack as usual. And there is a scene where Spider-Man's on a rooftop and Electro, confronts him about his, endeavor and talks back about him, however you sure are some hero, like John Jameson, be in a coma and losing that Ox person. Spidey gets mad, hint, and, Electro gets the upper hand, but, see you later, chump, Electro says. But then something around Spidey forms, and it attacks Electro, and don't worry, he's fine, he's not anything super serious. Spidey is able to stop himself. Just a single punch. Peter then goes to a mirrored building and sees his reflection. He's got a new black costume. Which brings us to the end of the episode, and brings us directly next to episode 2. Slide. So Peter is, trying out his brand new suit, stopping crimes, and then he makes a familiar face. Ox. Spider-Man with his new suit was able to beat Ox, but whatever he was stealing was already stolen while they were fighting. That crook is called Slide, and Peter senses something familiar with him, like what he has now. That Slide is really hard to catch because of his unique suit. By the end of the episode, we learn that Slide got his powers from a symbiote, just like Peter. And they're not the only ones. And there could be a joke in this season where Yuri can nickname these bad guys, kind of like Cisco from The Flash and, Michelangelo from TMNT 2012. Just a little joke. And yeah, basically this season's kind of like a season of The Flash, basically. Episode 3, Belladonna. This introduces the character of the same name, and like her counterpart, she wants revenge on Roger Kingsley. I'm not saying I was a hobgoblin, he's just a little Easter egg for the fans and, motivation for Belladonna. And there's gonna be a little joke where Yuri's just mad she nicknamed herself, but Yuri's gonna nickname the next one. But unlike Belladonna's counterpart, this Belladonna will be wearing a symbiote because Belladonna's thing is fashion, and well, the symbiotes mimic clothing. You get the idea, it writes itself. Also, she has a servant called Ricochet, who is also taking influence from Spectacular Spider-Man. He's also known as Fancy Dan. Well, just want to mention that for now. After defeating Belladonna, Spider-Man can confirm that Slide was right. Other people are affected by symbiotes. And then we got episode 4, Sand and Water. And yes, this introduces Sandman and Hydro Man in this episode. And a little joke where Billy names Sandman first, and Yuri, well, gets named Hydro Man. And we get to learn that Sandman used to be star athlete at, well, Midtown High, and Hydro Man used to be a marine person. Whichever job involves water you want. And well, they get their powers from symbiotes that were altered, I guess, because how else does symbiote will give them their comic accurate powers. Towards the end of the episode, they merged in their mud fusion form, but Spider was able to somehow beat it, and well, end of episode. Episode 5 is called Blank. In this episode, we're introduced to another symbiote effectee named Noah Body. And yes, his name is a pun. It's a reference to the 1960s show. I get it. But, anyways, basically what happens is Blank was someone framed for his crime, then he's trying to clear his name. He's giving acts to do so, and, well, Spider-Man stops him, and, well, that's it. And then Peter would take the symbiote to Kurt Connors for study. To learn more about it, of course. And then we got episode 6, The Spot. This episode introduces the title villain of the episode, The Spot. Real name, Jonathan Why he's called The Spot? Well, Yuri named him The Spot because, well, she felt like Portal was too obvious and she wanted to have fun. And then we learn about John's backstory, where he's pretty much seen as a total loser to everybody. Then he found the symbiote, and then he experimented on it to give it portal-based abilities. And with this new ability and discovery, he didn't want anyone to know about it because, well, they would use it for bad things. So he decided to rob banks and make his own lab so that no one can have these powers. But unfortunately, the portals go haywire, so decides to sacrifice part of his symbiote to, well, save the world. Kind of a reference to the 90s animated series. At the end of the episode, we see a mysterious figure collect what's left of the Spot symbiote. Episode 7, Cold Heart. This episode introduces the villain called Cold Heart. And basically, between the events of the movie and the show, Spider-Man accidentally caused the death of, well, one of her loved ones, and, well, she wants revenge. And so she creates her cryo swords, and we got some training, and now she's ready to take out Spider-Man. This character will reflect on how Peter is being affected by the symbiote. This episode also revolves around a subplot with a living vampire on the loose. And every time Spider-Man tries to get to the vampire, Cold Heart will attack him. Eventually, Spider-Man will take out Cold Heart, and, well, was able to get to finally take down, well, the vampire. With the help of Kraven the Hunter, of course. Which leads us into the mid-season finale, episode 8, Shriek. In this episode, we learn the vampire's name is Michael Morbius, and he has something that makes him, well, into act like a monster. And Spidey, Kurt, and Kraven all know how it feels. And we learn that, well, Michael was transformed this way by his wife, Frances. And yes, this story is inspired by a level in Spider-Man 3 for the PS2 with Shriek and Morbius, where... And it's also basically the influence for Season 2 of Pixar Spider-Man, where symbiotes affect other people, mainly Shriek. That's where I'm getting this influence from. Anyway, that's like the game. Shriek got affected by symbiotes, and somehow it gained Shriek's powers in the comics, and Michael was reaching blood cells, and, well, that turned him into a living vampire. Spider-Man finds Shriek, but unfortunately, symbiote corrupts her, and, well, Spidey decides to bring Morbius to Shriek, and, well, a battle pursues. Peter learns the symbiote is weak to Sonics, and, well, Spidey beats Shriek, Morbius is cured, and, well, basically, end of the episode. And then we move on to episode 9, Skies and Reinforcements. So in this episode, Vulture and Shocker have escaped prison. Again. However, Shocker ditched Vulture in exchange for his new buddies, Ricochet and Ox, now calling themselves the Enforcers, while Vulture has his own foot soldiers called the Vulturians. Luckily, Spider-Man was able to beat Vulture and his Vulturians first, and then Shocker and his Enforcers next. At the end of the episode, we learn that the person that caused the prison break is none other than Mac Gargan, aka the Scorpion. And then we got episode 10, Symbiotic Sting. So the episode begins with Spider-Man battling Overdrive, and this time he didn't need to steal Overdrive's tech to do so. Spider-Man beats him no problem, but then Spider-Man is attacked by none other than the Scorpion, now infected by a symbiote. And, well, Peter's got a symbiote, but Max also got a symbiote. It's almost an even match. But the second time Spider-Man was able to beat Scorpion, he had Electro's help. And Spidey offers to seek his help. Spidey finds Electro, tries to convince him. Electro didn't agree at first, but then it obliges anyway. They defeat Scorpion, his symbiote removed. Unbeknownst to them, the Scorpion symbiote is collected by the same mysterious man as before. Episode 11, Looting Meteor. This introduces the final symbiote effectee. Well, you're not sure what to call him, the Looter or the Meteor Man. So, but for this, we're just gonna call him the Looter, because that's easier to say. The Looter is kind of like his comic book origins, but it's now a symbiote involved. And, well, he's collecting the other symbiotes because, well, he got corrupted by power because symbiote. Well, he's also got a little, well, partner working for him, known as Boomerang, who is essentially his enforcer and meant to distract Spidey while he gets Spidey's symbiote, or at least a part of it, and at least the one that's in Kurt Connor's lab. And while he's collecting all the symbiotes, it's, as I said, to gain more power. He then merges the symbiotes to become a hybrid, wink wink, of symbiotes. Spidey was able to beat the hybrid Looter, destroy his symbiote, and, well, arrest him, but Boomerang escapes. The second to final episode, Removal. As this episode, with Peter worrying about the symbiote corrupting him and, well, turning him evil and all that, and his friends start to worry too. And then Spidey would be attacked by both Tarantula and Boomerang. Peter says he doesn't have time for this, and Tarantula reveals he kidnapped John Jameson, and, well, well, Jonah was forced to get Spider-Man for help, and, well, Spider-Man had some scurries, and, well, Spidey was able to get John to safety. Well, was able to fight off both Tarantula and Boomerang. Well, Peter realizes the symbiote is, well, making him worse, and he removes the symbiote with the bell at the church they're at. And, well, he removes the symbiote at last. Unfortunately, it landed onto, well, Eddie Brock, who was at the church when, well, he got fired from the Daily Bugle after, well, being found out to have, well, framed Spider-Man for a crime. And he got really fired and ruined his reputation. That's what I meant to say. And, well, the symbiote attached to him and hates Spider-Man for rejecting it. And so they want revenge together and combine to form Venom, leading to the season finale, which is also called Venom. With Venom having the full knowledge of Peter Parker and Spider-Man, he's able to stalk Peter, attack him wherever, and, well, sneak attack him while his spider sense going off, and, well, and able to attack his loved ones if need be. Venom was able to kidnap his best buddies, Yuri and Billy. Spidey was able to find Venom, fight him, save his friends, and, well, Venom was able to knock out Spider-Man, and, well, he was able to tie him up to the same bell where Venom symbiote was removed, where that happened, and, well, Spidey learns about Eddie as Venom, and, well, well, Spider-Man realizes the symbiote's weakness, that the symbiote needs to constantly regenerate itself in order to make its own organic webbing, so Peter uses that as his advantage, while also using the bell again, and, well, Peter is able to beat Venom at last, and, well, that's the end of the season. And that was my pitch for Season 2 of Pixar's Spider-Man. If you like this video, be sure to hit that thumbs up button, subscribe, hit that notification button, and want to see more content. I am Tyler Lawson 2. All copyright belongs to its respective owners. This was made by Wondershare Fillmore Go. And, well, this video is long enough already, so peace.